Hi, everyone. My name is Angela Paragoso, and welcome to BCTV, where we celebrate, showcase, and connect with the very best of British East and Southeast Asian talent. Now, if you are new to our channel, please like, share, subscribe, and click on the bell button below. Follow us on Facebook and Twitter so you'll be updated with what's coming up. So today we have a man of many, many talents. He is an actor, a writer, a director. He runs the award-winning production company called Ritter Films. Let's all welcome Blake Ritter. Hi,
Hello,
Blake.
everyone. Hi, thanks for having me.
Thank you for obliging us in spite of
My
your busy
pleasure.
schedule. So how have you been? How are things? Have you been busy? Have you been locked in too much, or what's been going on?
Since the first ever lockdown, I've actually got busier, would you believe, instead of quieter, because I had to kind of force myself being creative
Mm.
and keep going, and then find myself into this pace of just keep making films. So yeah, it's been busy. I'm doing a lot of things at the moment.
Oh, that's wonderful. Great. Well, I'm glad you're keeping busy. It seems like, because I work predominantly in the theater,
Hmm.
but for some reason, the film industry is just booming. And,
Yeah.
it's great that people have started, being able to go to work, forming bubbles,
Hmm.
able to do that. But it's been very good for the film industry. So I'm very happy about that. And I'm also getting quite a few things from film. And I rarely do films, so I'm very happy about that.
That's good.
Um, Tell us about what's your latest film? Was it called Help? Help, wasn't it?
Well, my latest feature film
Yes.
is Help, which got completed at the end of last year,
Yay.
and we have
Congratulations.
a we'll have a world premiere coming up in March in one of the festivals. So that's pretty exciting, where people can watch the film online virtually.
Do you know which film festival it's going to be part of?
Cinequest, it's going to
Sorry,
be
CineQuest.
Cinequest Film Festival.
Amazing. So everyone, watch out for that. Help in CineQuest. Uh,
Yeah,
and then you also did a short film called A Love Story. Is
that's
that
my latest one. Yeah, a love
yeah?
story.
How's
Was
that
released on
going?
Valentine's Day. It's going really well in terms of number of views and the reception being brilliant. Everybody loved the concept. Some people understood the twist, some people quite didn't, but still loved the story. So it's my first kind of LGBTQ movie. So, and I think I did quite well.
Well
So
done. Well, I
thank
look
you.
forward to being able to see it. Is it available anywhere? Can we see it somewhere or
Yeah,
stream?
it's on YouTube on my
Oh, it's on
YouTube channel.
YouTube. Oh,
Yeah,
fantastic. Great. I shall definitely check it out then.
thank you. I
Um,
release at least one short film per month on my YouTube channel,
oh,
which is
wow.
so,
A short film a month. That's amazing.
minimum, hopefully two or three.
You're busy. Wow, that's amazing.
It's creating my empire.
Of course, Empire, the Ritter Empire.
Yeah.
That's amazing. So you also won a TMFF award in June, am I right? Was that the
Yeah.
latest one that you won? My gosh, you're winning everywhere.
Um, that was a award I won for a short film called The English Teacher. But since then, yeah, since I think the latest award I've had are for the feature film Help. It's had 6 awards so far. So hopefully more awards to come.
Yeah, definitely. Fingers crossed. Well, you're
Plus,
churning out so much work, so I'm sure something will definitely come up.
yeah, and I'm learning, every time I do
Of
something.
course, of course. So what do you prefer doing? Feature films or short films? What do you
You
think
know
the
what?
best
It's
is?
interesting because I'm actually doing a free workshop tomorrow,
Oh, wow.
and it's me taking through everyone the journey as a filmmaker from the beginning to the end. I actually talk about I was at a crossroad between if I want to carry on being an actor because that's how I started,
Oh, I
or
see.
whether I want to continue as a filmmaker because I know it's just not possible to put all your energy into more than one
Mm,
category, especially if it's quite different. I mean, writing and directing is very similar.
Hmm.
Acting and filmmaking is quite different because one is behind the camera, one's in front.
Yeah.
And doesn't matter what people said, you will always end up doing more than one and then the other. So I end up doing more filmmaking because when you try to spread yourself out too much,
Hmm.
you end up climbing too many ladders. And compared to someone who's just climbing one ladder, obviously they're going to get to the top before you.
Mm-hmm.
So, so yeah,
That's
so
cool.
I'm doing filmmaking. That's probably the one thing I'm doing more now.
Have you ever thought of theater directing or doing theater? Have you ever done theater?
No, I had an opportunity back in my early acting career where they offered me a role to play in the theatre. But I
Hmm.
think at the time I was too busy. That was the only opportunity I had. But since then, I haven't really got into theatre now.
How did you get into film acting? Film in general, film producing, writing, and all that. What got you into it?
Yeah, so I started as an actor and then realized, I'm not getting any roles I want because I'm new and I have no skills, I have no credit. So no one's going to hire me, right?
Mm.
So the best thing is put myself into films. At the time, I was doing different YouTube videos because I wanted to be YouTube as well, like the typical comedy videos, the vlogs. I went to visit different parts of the world, so I did travel videos. So all those videos gave me the skill set of how to use a camera, understand the basic operation of the camera. That helped me to kind of go into the next stage of actual doing a narrative video. And then I start doing my own films and won some awards here and there, and then realized this is what I enjoy and just
Mm.
carried on doing that, basically.
And when you started doing all of that, did you feel you felt like you just fell into it, or was it like, oh, I have to do all of this, or was it more like, oh, I enjoy every aspect of it?
Um, I think I always enjoy being creative. I used to be a magician as well at one point, so that's another creative industry, and that kind of relies on showmanship and creating something people will be amazed, entertained. I think that part of me still stays with me, and I realized creating movies is like showing a magic trick,
Yeah, of course.
especially when I have my twists. I think that's why I have so many twists in my movies, because magic tricks are misdirection, right? They show something in one hand, something else is happening in the other hand. That's like a twist you don't expect. So that stayed with me, and I think that's why I enjoy making movies to tell a good story with a good twist at the end.
Have you used your magic tricks in any of your in any of your films?
Not yet, no. But I've watched the films like The Prestige, for
Uh-huh.
example, where they feature magician. But no, I haven't actually used any magic tricks yet.
That's interesting. You're using it in a different way.
In a
Is that,
different way,
wow,
yeah,
that's cool.
storytelling way.
That's really cool. And I looked up you were brought up here in the UK, am I right?
I was born in Shanghai, but I came to the UK at a very young age.
Right.
So yeah,
And you were based whereabouts in the UK?
I grew up in Birmingham.
Ah, I lived in Birmingham for about 3 months, many, many years
It's
ago.
3 months. That's all you need.
Years and years ago. I loved it there. I really enjoyed it. This was before they when was I there? I was there last when is there a place called Edgbaston? Am I making it up?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
lived at Edgbaston.
That's where I lived. I
Okay.
lived there for a few weeks, and
Yeah.
then I was doing a show at the Hippodrome, and then
Mm.
the Bull Ring wasn't up and running yet.
Oh
Because
yeah, I saw it.
that's how long ago I was there.
Oh yeah, yeah.
But I love the Chinatown there. It's so close to the Hippodrome and all
It
that.
is.
So it's beautiful there. I really enjoyed my time there. So when you're doing your films, do you film in Birmingham? Would you say that most of your stuff would be in Birmingham, or do
No,
you?
no, I only started doing filmmaking when I moved to London.
Ah, I
So,
see. And when did you move to London?
for about 5 years.
Okay, cool. Amazing. Just 5 years and you've been churning out all of this work. I was looking
Oh,
at
I didn't start filmmaking when I moved to London straight away. I was doing marketing job.
I
That's why
see.
I moved for a job that I secured in London, and then
Aha.
after a year, I left that job and pursued my acting career. So acting, I've been doing it 3, 4 years. Filmmaking, 2.5 years, something like that.
Amazing. And how would you say is your process of finding a story? Do you like, because you know some people, they look at a painting like, oh, this is inspiring me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I I find it very, oh my gosh, how do they get that? You know what I mean? When they're looking at a thing and they're like, oh, that's inspired me to create a dance piece or a song or a film. What inspires you, or what do you like reading about or hearing about?
Um, to be honest, the coming up with the idea for a film, I find it is the most difficult part of the process of filmmaking. Because for me personally, ideas don't come to me naturally like most people do. And very rarely they just come to me from a certain situation. But when they do come to me, it's normally I have a very interesting situation. And then how can I turn that into a story?
Mhm.
Because situation are just situations, isn't really a story that people enjoy. So I go always from a situation like some man is stuck in a room. That could be a situation, and how I turn that into a story. I normally get from that, and then I watch a lot of films, like quite a lot of films, um, and I get inspired from that as well sometimes.
How many on average do you watch?
For especially since lockdown, I
Yeah.
probably watch average at least one film per day,
Wow.
at least. Um, yeah, quite a lot. And sometimes I review the films on my Instagram account as
Oh
well.
yeah, of course. And what would be your preferred genre when you're watching films? Do you tend to watch the same films that you would make, or would you watch a different thing to be like, oh, I don't want to think about work or whatever? Or are you always sort of like on work mode when you're watching these things?
I do tend to watch the films I like to make, but sometimes, for example, I would never make a rom-com. It's just not me. But I do watch rom-com from time to time, just taking my mind off things.
Right.
But yeah, generally thriller, horror, and then drama in that order.
So why not rom-coms? I'm just curious.
I don't know. I've tried to put comedy into my films, and I don't see it being the strongest.
Right.
I think I'm still struggling with the dialogue part of
Right.
screenplay, and I'm still improved from that aspect. So dialogue is an important part to get the right comedy, I think.
Definitely.
So that's why I don't think my comedy is very strong, which brings me to the conclusion I don't really want to do rom-com.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Well,
So,
was there anything, are you working on anything at the moment, actually? Are you working on, because you said you're doing one short film a month, was it?
yeah,
So are
yeah.
you working on anything now?
Yes, I'm working on
Are you allowed to talk about it? I don't want to
yeah,
ask.
sure. I'm working on another short film for March, called Alina, which is about a man reflecting his life with his wife. It's kind of drama, but with a twisted ending as always. And then at the same time, writing my second feature, which is
Ooh,
getting there. Not quite concrete yet, but it's taking longer than I expected. But it's my second one, so I'm learning from my mistake from the first, and just want to make sure this time it goes well, much better than the first.
fantastic.
Yeah.
Tell, I don't know why all of a sudden I'm going back to what you were telling us about your first LGBT film.
Hmm.
Um, what inspired you to do that? Was a love story. What, tell us a bit more about that. That's quite interesting.
Um, I always wanted to do an LGBTQ film because I just find that community is quite strong, and there's a tight kind of relationship between all the people, and I want to tell a story and deliver into that community to obviously expand my portfolio and my skill,
Hmm.
and it's a risk because they are very judgmental in a good way, right? They want to protect their community and don't want to get kind of, what's the word I'm looking for?
Pigeonholed or like put it
Yeah, they don't want to be represented badly by
right.
films. So if you do a film that's kind of not right, I mean that kind of applies to most community, like this
Mm.
disability community or so forth, all that kind of stuff. Even racist community, if you put the race in the wrong category, people will complain. So
Yeah,
it's like it's a risk, and I'm glad so far there's been no complaints.
good. Well, I look
So
forward
yeah,
to watching it. I'm gonna find some time and watch it.
okay, you're gonna complain.
Yeah, I'll be like, "What did you do?" No, I'm teasing. Where can they find you to contact you if there's anything they like if they wanted to say stuff about your films and stuff like that?
Uh, anywhere, I'm everywhere on social media. Just search for Blake Ridder, and they'll be able to find me. But normally, if I do a casting call, it's on Twitter or Instagram. But I do rarely do casting calls
Mhm.
unless I'm looking for a specific character. Usually, I just use people I've used previously or people I know. Or if it's a big feature film, I'll go to a casting director. Um,
Fantastic.
yeah.
Hooray. Well, thank you so much for your time. I know you're extremely busy and I
No,
don't
thank you.
want to take any more of your time.
No,
But thank you so much, Blake, for
no,
being with
thank
us.
you. I've really enjoyed the chat. Thanks.
Yes, I'd love to make this even longer, but
Okay.
it's like, you know how it is on YouTube. That people have such a short attention span. We want a
Yeah.
bit here and there so that we can be like, maybe we can do a part two at
Okay,
some
that'd be good.
point
Yes.
when you've done your maybe in a few months or something and say, "Ooh, have you done more?"
I'll be too busy for you now. I'll be too.
Well, I hope that's the case. I really hope that's the case. We're like, oh, I'm sorry, I can't do any more interviews. I'm too busy. But I really hope that's the case. I
Okay.
really would love to see more of your work and hopefully, more power and more success to you. And,
Thank you.
thank you so much for your time.
No problem. Thank you.
And to all of our viewers, thank you so much for tuning in with us. So keep well and healthy. Until the next time.